Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Well, speaking of healthy eating, this next recipe is soy good.
Soy goodness from nature. Source of plant protein. Naturally cholesterol-free, lactose-free. Made with love by Clover.
Now, who said tarts are only for desserts? Well, thanks to Clover Good Hope soy milk, we are getting plenty of inspiration. How does this sound? We're about to show you how to make our caramelized onion tart that can be served as a side dish or even as a backup for when plant-based loved ones come to pop in for a visit. And Teresa is here to show us how it all comes together. I will be honest, I've had a quiche that had onions in it, but never an onion tart. This is the first.
Okay, so it's very similar. A quiche normally just has eggs and milk as the kind of base, but we're going to be making a cheese sauce. Very, very delicious. So I'm going to start by caramelizing our onions. And we've got some red onion.
And that always brings out a sweeter flavor.
Yes, oh, so, so nice. And if you keep the heat low and just let them release their natural sugars slowly, they're going to caramelize beautifully. So pop them into your oil, and then we're going to add a bit of thyme, some brown sugar, just to help the caramelization process, and a bit of balsamic vinegar as well, which adds a beautiful flavor. And you're just going to let that simmer nicely. You'll season a bit. So this you can do first, just let it cook down slowly for 15 or 20 minutes, and then let it cool down before you put it in your tart. So I'll do that.
All our ingredients over a low heat. In front of me, I've got all the ingredients to make the base for our tart.
Yeah, very, very easy pastry. You can do it by hand if you don't have a food processor, but it's a lot quicker and
less messy.
Less messy.
So do I start off with butter or flour, or does it not matter?
You can pop your flour in first and then add a little bit of salt as well.
Yeah, I'm going to add some flour.
Down a little bit.
Little bit of salt.
Yeah, and then you can pop your butter in as well.
Okay, just gonna make room for everything.
So if you were doing this by hand, you would just use your fingertips and rub all the batter into the flour. But in the food processor, it takes a couple of seconds, so it's much, much easier.
It does take a couple of seconds, which is convenient, especially if you don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
So that's just going to mix it all together, and then when do I start adding the wet liquid?
So you can stop now, and then we're going to add an egg yolk.
Egg yolk.
Yep.
We're going in here now.
Perfect. And then you can add about half of the water, blitz it together, and then see if you need to add more.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to start blitzing it slowly.
That's it. With pastry, you want to add as little water as possible, just until it comes together, because you don't want your pastry to be tough.
I feel like that's a bit aggressive. Here we
Looks
go.
like we can add, maybe a little bit more. That looks good.
A little bit more, and that is how we're going to get our pastry.
Perfect. So, so easy. And then just remember with your pastry, when it comes together, just to wrap it in some plastic and let it chill in the fridge for a couple of minutes, or 15 minutes to half an hour. Nice.
We've got great pastry here.
That looks great.
And of course, this is now where the hands get involved. You want to really press it and get it into our pie dish, our tart dish. Now, when are you using our Clover Good Hope soy milk?
Right, so what I'm doing now is I'm making our delicious cheese sauce. So what I've done is I've melted some butter and I've added some flour and some nutmeg, which just brings a beautiful flavor to the sauce. And then I'm going to use our Good Hope soy milk just to make the sauce.
Oh, well, our Clover Good Hope soy milk, it is dairy-free and it is great for drinking as it is. You can use it in baking and cooking like Teresa is showing us now. It's also preservative-free, a source of protein, and has good multi, in fact, nutritional value that you do want to. I mean, I think today's food, you need to be so intentional with all the nutrients you get that you need to pay attention to what you put in your body.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. So whisk your soy milk into the butter and flour mixture, and you'll see it'll thicken up quickly. So just give it a good whisk so you get all those lumps out. And then afterwards, I'm going to add a bit of cheese, because we love the cheese.
We do love cheese.
That's looking nice and thick.
Just to confirm, we put our pastry into the bake, and we're going to bake it blind into the oven?
Yes, that's right. So once your pastry is chilled, you can roll it out, and then put it into your pie dish and bake it for about 15 minutes. with no filling. So
With
you can
no
see it's nice and golden, it's cooked through.
Do you do put the little beans or rice on top to keep it?
Yes.
Is that
just to
something
keep
you
it
would
down?
do?
Yeah, because you don't want it to get soggy once you add your filling. So I'm just whisking some cheese into our sauce, and then I'm going to add our onions. Oh, they smell amazing.
They do smell amazing.
So let me pop those in. So these are going to go in first. Ordinarily, you would let them cool and...
This is for TV. We're in a bit
just
of a
racing
rush.
ahead.
We are racing ahead. Do you leave the thyme in?
I'll take them
You
out.
take it out. Can I help you
So,
there?
yeah, we
I
don't
feel like I'm that
crunch on
person
those.
that when I take a slice of pie, I only get the added
The extra
greens.
bits. Extra fiber.
The added leaves. There we go. So now we're going to have our cheesy sauce.
Yes,
Ooh,
that's going to go on top.
look at that. We'll obviously fill it all.
Fill it up, yeah.
And then add that.
Then, do you want to crumble some feta over the top?
Love to crumble some feta for
Extra
us.
cheese, we love the cheese.
And then you pop this into the oven.
Into the oven at 200, and you just want to basically get it golden.
Oh, Teresa, this is
there we
amazing.
go.
I was a bit aggressive there with our feta.
Looks
but
good.
if you want to get your hands on this delicious recipe, our caramelized onion tart, we do have that recipe available on our website, expressoshow.com. And if you've missed any of the steps that we just did, here's a recap for you.
Made with love by Clover.